All right, it's win or go home time for the Knicks on Wednesday night as the Knickerbockers will look to stave off elimination in Game 5 of their first round series with the Heat. Jonathan Macri, the dean of Knicks Film School, he's been plugged into the Knicks all season long, and he joins me now to help us figure out how the Knicks down 3-1 can pull off a playoff miracle. Jonathan, I think you have the answers for this, don't you, right? You got the answers for how they can come back.
Man, if I had the answers, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I think I'd be in a different line of work on a sideline somewhere. But yeah, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Yes, you would be getting paid the big bucks to figure that out. But, John, the Knicks, they've shown fight all season. From what you have seen in the first 4 games of the series, do you believe they will show the fans that they will put up a fight starting with Game 5 on Wednesday night at MSG?
I do. I think they'll definitely come out of the gate strong. I think they'll come out of the gate with a lot of effort. I mean, to their credit, I did think that their effort in Game 4 was certainly stronger than their effort, I think, in Game 3. I think in Game 3, they got hit in the mouth a little bit and didn't respond in the way that a lot of us were expecting them to respond. Game 4, I know, a lot of the offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter doesn't look great. But overall, I thought their effort was fine for the most part, as we'll maybe get into, for the game. And yeah, they'll come out of the gate strong, but it's going to be, it's going to come down to what does Miami do? Can they withstand whatever New York comes out of the gate with? And if Miami punches back, and this is a tight game, or even Miami, takes a lead after one or in the first half, how does New York then respond? Do they have the character and the mettle to say, okay, let's keep fighting, as opposed to, our vacations are around the corner?
Yeah, we will see if they have the fight tonight at MSG. Now, following the game for a loss, Jonathan, there was a lot of talk about the defensive effort of Julius Randle, or lack of defensive effort by the Knicks forward. How did you evaluate Randle's defense in Game 4, and where do you think he can be better in Game 5 and possibly beyond?
Yeah, I mean, the unfortunate part with Randle is you see it, you don't love it that it's happening in the second round of the playoffs. But for anybody who's watched this player since he's been here and really throughout his entire career, I mean, nothing that you saw there was shocking. And I think that's part of the problem, the biggest part of the problem. And I think that's what made so many fans not only upset, but genuinely concerned, because, this season, part of what's been nice about it is it kind of answered, or it seemed to answer, a lot of long-term questions. Can you go forward with this core? And to see Randle kind of revert back to some of the stuff we've seen over the years was unsettling, both in the present moment and then big term in terms of, or long term. And then in terms of, what he could do to be better, just be on point with your rotations, execute closeouts, all the little things that some Knicks do, and we need him to do as well.
Yeah, all the little things matter in this series, matters on defense. We'll see if he's able to do that in Game 5. Now, Mitchell Robinson, he would appear to be one of the Knicks players that needs to find his game for them to have a chance. He's been outplayed by Bam Adebayo in this series after a stellar play in the first round. So how crucial is Robinson to turning the Knicks, to the Knicks turning this series around? Not him turning it around, but the Knicks being able to turn this series around. How crucial is Robinson's play?
That's a tougher one for me. I mean, Randle, it's easy. Just play with more effort, play better, hit some shots. Mitch, I think a lot of us coming off of the Cleveland series were so impressed with his play, justifiably so, because he was arguably the best player in that series, that maybe we didn't spend enough time wondering, is this a series where Mitchell Robinson is able to excel? Hartenstein was the better of the two centers against the Heat, I think, for much of the regular season. I think he's been the better of the two centers in the series so far. But I also think we need to give credit to the Heat, because I have to think, they watched the same games that we did against the Cavs, and they knew Mitchell Robinson was the difference in that series. And I think they came into this saying, for as much as Jalen Brunson is the head of the snake, in a way, Mitchell Robinson, specifically on the offensive glass, is responsible for so much of what makes the Knicks. And without his ability to really wreak havoc there, I think it's taken away a bit of their identity, and that's kind of why over the last 4 games it feels like we're watching a Knicks team that we're just not accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, and we'll see how Robinson is able to bounce back as well in Game 5 and beyond. Now, John, I know the mantra is this, right? Is one game at a time when you're down in the series. So while Knicks fans, they are dreaming of a 3-1 series comeback, What are the keys to New York pulling out a win over Miami in Game 5?
Yeah, again, I know you bring me on here for the heavy hitting analysis, so here it comes. Make shots. you know, well, it's twofold. On when they're on offense, obviously it's making shots, and like I know the percentage from deep was better last game. I think they ended up hitting 38% of their threes, and certainly did well inside the arc. They still only came away with 9 3-point shots, and Miami's mantra coming into the series has not changed one bit. We're going to let you take threes. We're going to let you take as many threes as you want. Most of those threes will be open. And if you're going to hit them, well, I guess we're going to have an early vacation. And if you don't, we'll be the better team in the series. I don't think that that's changed. And that's because the Knicks haven't hit enough threes to make it change. They kind of forced the issue, and they did so smartly, especially in the third quarter there of game 4. Finally got it going again inside the arc. I think they're going to need to take some threes. I think they're going to need to make them. And then on the other side, just be sound in your rotations. They were not sound in their rotations, certainly in Game 4 for much of this series. Part of that is because they're paying so much attention to Jimmy Butler. That's a schematic thing. Maybe they decide to change it a little bit tonight. We'll see. But if they're in rotation, you just got to be on point and make the old be better playing adjustment.
All right, there you go. The hard-hitting analysis. Make your shots. Be better with your rotations. That's from Jonathan Macri, the dean of Knicks Film School. He will be watching. Knicks Nation will be watching to see if the Knicks can avoid elimination in Game 5 at the Garden on Wednesday night. Your prediction is that they will, Jonathan? Is that the prediction that you have?
Oh, man, I think this is going to be a close one. I'd love to sit here and confidently predict this is going to Miami for a Game 6, but I don't know. I'll predict a close game. Can I get away with that?
Yeah, we'll let you off the hook with that.
Thank you.
There you go. Jonathan Macri, dean of Knicks Film School, predicting a close game, not going with a win or a loss in Game 5 tonight. Thanks, John. Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you as always, Dex.